loses a close, tough fight to Terence Crawford. I don't know.
But he's gotten older. He's grown out of the division.
Who?
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but
so is Terence Crawford.
You can't make the weight.
But so is Terence Crawford. I picked Terence Crawford because he started 135. Floyd started 130. He turned pro. He's 130 pounds.
I mean, Max really has earned the right to an opinion. And his current opinion is that Terence Crawford is the greatest of all time. Now, I will tell you, Max is a fan. I can relate to this. I got in there and I did the sport, and there are times that there's a credibility that will come along with me for having done the sport. But I'm the same as Max. I'm a fan.
Good Crawford is, you know what I mean? Especially being 30, what is he, 38? Something like that, yeah, 38. So listen, to do what he done in the manner he did it, moving up 2 weights, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, one of the greatest to do it.
Max Kellerman passionately dissects the buzz around the Mayweather versus Crawford showdown, stressing the sharp differences in their legacies. He explains that Floyd Mayweather built a flawless record by hand-picking opponents, a strategy that protected his legacy but drew plenty of criticism. In contrast, Terence Crawford embraced every challenge, never dodging a fight, and continually silenced doubts with dominant performances. While Mayweather's resume remains legendary, Kellerman leans toward Crawford, arguing that his fearless spirit and refusal to avoid anyone make him the superior fighter.
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
Max Kellerman has long questioned whether Floyd Mayweather truly deserves the top spot on the pound-for-pound list. While he respects Mayweather's technical mastery, he insists that perfection alone doesn't define the greatest of all time. Kellerman highlights Terence Crawford's remarkable journey, capturing world titles in 4 different divisions, a rare accomplishment that places him in the same conversation as Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's legendary rise came from moving up weight classes and defeating elite champions, a fearless path Crawford now seems to mirror. For Kellerman, greatness is not about protecting an undefeated record but about taking risks, daring to climb divisions, and consistently facing the best fighters available. In his eyes, Crawford embodies that warrior spirit, making his case as one of boxing's true all-time greats.
No one has ever been 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, yeah, I won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing.
In one of his sharpest critiques, Max Kellerman argued that Floyd Mayweather's spotless record came less from risk-taking and more from strategic management. He noted that Mayweather frequently selected opponents who were either past their best years or presented minimal threat to his defensive mastery. Early on, Floyd earned praise for his dazzling reflexes and technical brilliance, but as his career progressed, the focus shifted. The fights he pursued were often the most lucrative rather than the most dangerous. This change drew criticism, with many fans believing his 50-0 mark looked more like a business blueprint than undeniable proof of dominance. Kellerman's central claim is clear. While Mayweather was undeniably great, his cautious matchmaking diluted the meaning of his undefeated record, as fans longed to see him truly tested.
Floyd was fighting everyone right up until the point where he started to make money. But as much credit as you get for making, the primacy of business, for making business your priority, well, that comes with trade-offs. Because when you make business decisions constantly, sometimes your athletic achievements won't be regarded in the same way as if you made athletic achievements your priority. That said, Mayweather has accomplished a tremendous amount of athletic. 3 fighters he didn't fight: Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, when he was obliterating De La Hoya Hatton, and Shane Mosley when he still had some left. And while he will wind up fighting Pacquiao and Mosley, it'll both be, at the right time for Floyd. That said, what about at the right, the right time for Floyd? He's also ancient. Fighter approaching 40, fighting at the level Mayweather is fighting, is unheard of. Mayweather, until recent times, would be considered one of the greatest older fighters. Like, that would be the whole story. Oh my God, can you believe how old Mayweather is? It's a little bit unfair to Floyd. Say, well, you're picking these guys at the right time. Floyd is quite old.
Max Kellerman's bold praise of Terence Crawford as potentially the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever sparked heated backlash from fans and analysts still loyal to Floyd Mayweather's legacy. Critics argued that Kellerman was rushing to crown Crawford, insisting his career still has more to prove before surpassing an undefeated icon. Yet former UFC star Chael Sonnen stepped in to defend Kellerman's right to voice such a claim. Sonnen stressed that combat sports thrive on bold perspectives, and analysts who recognize greatness should not be silenced. He explained that Kellerman's opinion stems from decades of watching boxing evolve, making his stance an informed observation rather than bias. By defending him, Sonnen underscored the importance of debate in combat sports, where clashing viewpoints and passionate arguments drive the conversation about who truly belongs in the discussion for the greatest of all time.
I mean, Max really has earned the right to an opinion. And his current opinion is that Terence Crawford is the greatest of all time. Now, I will tell you, Max is a fan. I can relate to this. I got in there and I did the sport, and there are times that there's a credibility that will come along with me for having done the sport. But I'm the same as Max. I'm a fan. I stopped off and had a career doing it, but I started as a fan during my time in that career, and now I'm a fan. And Max was a little heavy on Canelo. Now, when I say he was a little heavy, it just surprised me. As such an expert, as a guy that knows everything, I mean, Max knows the amateur. He knows what Usyk did in the Olympic Games and the World Championships and the Golden Gloves before that, and he knows everybody else as well. I was a little surprised, if I'm being fair, at how much he thought Canelo was a great fighter. That part did surprise me. But just because Canelo is deep doesn't mean he's not. It's interesting. Canelo's had some really hard fights, and by the way, he's had a lot of them. There's not usually a time in boxing where a guy can have anything but a 0 in his loss column, and the guy can still get over. Not only was that not the case, Canelo was valued just dollar and cents at 10 times more valuable than Crawford. Oh, by the way, Crawford is the only one that showed up with an undefeated record. And I must admit, some of those losses that Canelo had seem like the kind of thing that would really slow a guy down.
Reports of Terence Crawford setting his sights on undisputed glory at middleweight stirred both excitement and doubt across the boxing world. After dethroning Canelo Alvarez, the fighter widely hailed as the face of modern boxing, Crawford's legacy already seemed secure. That stunning victory shattered the belief that only size and raw power could stop him, proving his skills transcend weight divisions. Many analysts argue Crawford has nothing left to accomplish, having already defeated the sport's most marketable and dominant star. Yet his decision to chase undisputed status at 160 pounds reveals a deeper hunger, a refusal to settle even at the peak of greatness. Should he succeed, Crawford would carve out a place in rare company, solidifying his image as a champion who constantly pushes boundaries rather than resting on past achievements.
Anti-climaxing for him to drop back down because you already reached the height. You already slayed the giant. And essentially that's what Terence Crawford has already done. He slayed the giant, okay? Anything else he can do is going to be anti-climaxing. Nobody else who can fight. Canelo Alvarez with 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Canelo Alvarez is the face, or was the face, of the sport of boxing, right? And you defeated him and outclassed him. Everybody expected you to get knocked out. It was a money grab. It wasn't realistic. And you achieved it, right? There's nothing else you can do but one thing. And as I stated, you can put your crown so high on the pedestal, it's almost impossible to reach. And I stated that becoming undisputed in another glamour division in 2 fights, because it really doesn't matter who Terence Crawford fights at this point in time. There is no name that's going to garner him the traction and attention that he got from fighting Canelo. If he fights Ron Ennis, it's not going to do it. Virgil Ortiz, not going to do it. None of those guys, anybody would put against Canelo Alvarez and say that they would beat Canelo Alvarez. So now he would be expected to beat everybody. Okay? Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno, because of the size difference, he's 6'6", 80 plus inch arm reach, right? Fighting at 154 pounds. That would be attractive.
Max Kellerman has never shied away from challenging the boxing world's narratives, and when the debate shifts to the greatest of all time, his stance is unshakable. Floyd Mayweather does not automatically own that crown. Yes, Floyd's record is pristine, but Kellerman argues true legends are defined by risks, not just by numbers. Ali and Duran built greatness by taking on anyone, anytime, and Floyd didn't embody that fearless energy. He often waited until the timing tilted in his favor, facing Pacquiao after his prime, passing on Margarito when he was a wrecking machine, and always maximizing profit over danger. That doesn't mean Floyd wasn't great. It means his greatness came with calculation, not reckless daring. In contrast, fighters like Terence Crawford embody the essence of legacy. British prospect Hamza Shiraz called it an honor to witness Crawford's rise, praising his precision and willingness to dismantle champions without hesitation. His words echoed the sentiment of fans who see Crawford not only as a victor but as a symbol. Someone who proves greatness is found in chasing danger, not avoiding it. Crawford's demolition of Canelo Alvarez only cemented that reputation. That night, he didn't just win. He dominated, silencing critics and securing both respect and financial fortune. The scorecards felt far too close to many analysts, but anyone watching knew the truth. Crawford bossed it. He controlled the pace, dictated the fight, and left no doubt that he belongs among the elite. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's growing grip on boxing added another layer. With Turki Alalshikh orchestrating mega-events, the sports center of gravity is shifting from Las Vegas to Riyadh. Critics warned this could compromise the purity of competition, but the reality is undeniable. Saudi Arabia is now boxing's newest power broker. Whether you see it as evolution or erosion, the sport is changing before our eyes. And in the middle of this transformation stands Terence Crawford, a man redefining what it means to be great. His legacy is not preserved by caution, but forged in the fire of the toughest challenges. If boxing's future is about daring to be great, Crawford is the standard. Don't miss what comes next. Subscribe, share, and like to stay part of this conversation shaping boxing history.